Hello, everyone, and good evening. Thank you for joining us today. We are Wow Words of Wisdom, the Naked Truth, and today y'all are just gonna be kicking it. It's my first time, y'all, so give me a break. Y'all will be kicking it with me and Casey. And we're just gonna be talking and having conversation. If you have any questions that you want to ask from us, ask it, and we'll answer. So here we go.
All right, all right, all right. Well, as you guys can see, I'm Casey and that's Larisha. And the first thing that I kind of want to go over, Larisha, is did you see that the comments in regards to, I think her name is Selah Marley,
Yes,
Lauren Hill's daughter? Okay.
yes, I
So
did.
I guess for those who don't know what took place, this young lady went to social media and identified that her struggles and how she relates her struggles to her past, her parents' parenting methods, which she did not agree with, that caused her some low self-esteem issues. And so many people jumped on a bandwagon, insulting Rohan. Is that how you say his name?
I think it is Rohan, but I think they was assaulting more of Lauren
Lauren,
more than the father. Yeah, if I'm not
well,
mistaken.
because right. I think in what she was stating was that Lauren Hill beat her out of anger. Her beatings that she got was out of anger, and that she wished that she had more time with her father. So with that being said, a lot of people went and was like really hard on Lauren Hill and her father, and which caused her to even having to respond back, which is kind of sad because I do think that we all kind of nobody was born with a book, first off. So with nobody being born with a book, and we only know from what we knew when we was raised by our parents, and of course our generation, we're like all 70s babies raised in the 80s, where they beat the kids, you know and we learned from our parents, and I don't think that anybody should fault her. We all learning different now, and the generations after us is learning different, but that was the technique. Now out of anger is another thing, because then it could go to abuse. But I don't think that we should condemn Lauren and her husband at that time, because if they was going through a lot of issues and the
Right.
children saw it, it might not have been, the children should not have seen it, but it took place. You know what I'm saying? And a lot
Yeah.
of times we don't look into ourselves before we start pointing the fingers at others. How we may have been even products of relationships, our parents arguing and fighting in front of us and not realizing how that affects us. You know, as we are older, a lot of people can't connect the dots. And I praise her for being strong enough to connect the dots, because once you identify it, you're on your way of healing it. What do you think?
I mean, I with her telling, and I'm gonna say her business, putting her business out there like that. I don't know why she didn't think she wasn't going to get a response in the way she got it. You know, she could be mad at the people for saying what they said, or bashing her parents for, you know, beating her, or the way they beat her. But I
Spank.
mean, spanking her. I
Right.
mean, but my whole thing is, you put it out there, right? And you didn't. I get that it's a way of releasing it, and that's what her dad stated. His statement was like, he's happy that she released it, she let it out, she needed to talk.
Right.
But you talked on social media, which you got a response from. You got a social media response. People were outraged.
Right. And I get that. And I guess my thing is, social media is, we shouldn't always condemn when people are reaching out. I mean, honestly, we can't control other people, but we also need to look at the fact that this child had to be raised in a pretty famous family. The Marleys is
Right.
famous off the top, and then Lauren Hill was the top of everything. And
Right.
so we have to look at she's just basically using the same platform that she was raised in
No, I
to
get it.
identify her truth. Everybody somehow or another, social media is a part of everybody's lives now, and that comes into play with even releasing your truth, releasing what you're experiencing. And I don't think that she did it to condemn them. I think she did it to identify
Right, no. Right.
and I think that's the part that everybody kind of had an issue with. So nonetheless, I commend her for coming out and speaking her truth. I commend her for seeking her help, seeking help in those matters. And I definitely give praise to Lauryn Hill and Rohan for responding, not in a negative way, but identifying that they know now that there's something
it was wrong. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think a lot of kids nowadays are stronger than we were, because we was scared of telling our parents anything, telling them, I don't think it's right you beating on us. No, because they beat us some more, at that time. This is a whole nother time where mental health is identifying that those was issues in the household that need to be addressed. So I commend all of them, because it's a progress. It's a process as well, but it's progress within their relationships. So
I wonder if her brothers felt the same. Like if, you have, it's weird that you have more than one child and you raise them the same, but their outlook on how they were raised, they have a totally different, outlook on how they took everything. So I wonder if her brothers shared her feelings.
Well, I can tell you this. I know that was raised in the same household was me, my sister, and my brother. And we always stated that everybody viewed the way we was raised differently. Like my brother may have seen flowers and happiness and all of these things. And then being that Gina's she was the oldest, she probably saw the process of them learning how to be parents, failing at being parents, and then coming back up again being good parents. So, it's a process, and we view it differently. We honestly view it differently. Everyone has different views on child rearing. It's a broad spectrum, and everyone has an opinion. It should have been expected that some people would have some strong views. That is true.
Right.
That is very true.
Right. So, and that's not, and I agree with Lisi. Like, I'm not, and not condemning the fact that she had to go in at all, because that's her parents. But again, when you put yourself out there in that, that way, or on social media, you're going to get a social media response.
And I get that, but honestly, that she did a 2 hour, I think it was like 2.5 hour interview. And that whole interview, those two things, small, I want to say 3 minutes here and maybe 2 minutes on this topic, nobody got anything else out of what she was speaking on except for those issues.
Okay.
That also plays a big factor.
I didn't hear the whole interview. I just read the story about that.
Right. And that's another factor right there. It says age difference does play a role in how siblings view their parents and their parenting. I can say that definitely, even me parenting 3 children.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And my youngest is 5 years separate, 5 years difference. So when my first child, I was very overprotective. I think there's a lot of commercials that show where the first child, you're like, don't touch nothing, don't eat nothing. By the second kid or the third kid, you're like, listen, put them on the ground, they be all right.
Right, right.
It's a process.
Blood off, the dirt won't hurt.
Exactly. So it comes in all different types of viewpoints and different types of parenting. We learn as we go. Like I said, there's no book that actually,
at all. I know. I used to tell mine, you did not pop out with no guide. I'm learning, and it's not that. The crazy thing is that you're learning them as you go, but then you're also learning yourself.
Right. And that's a hard process, because
it really is.
You now have to decipher what you've learned from your parents and your grandparents into creating your own method of parenting. Also, to make sure that you're parenting that child different, because I got 3 kids with 3 different types of personalities, in which 3 different ways that I have to address them in communication, because I can't say to one the same way I would say to the other, because it might be perceived differently, you know? So I guess we would never know what took place in that household. We're only going according to her perception of
Yeah,
it.
because when I was reading it, I'm like, because I'm nosy. I wanted to be like, well, what was she mad at? They was like, she was angry all the time. I want to know, well, Laura, what was you mad at? Well,
Well, and
what
now
made
here's,
her so enraged? She was like, she was enraged all the time.
but you
Was she
know,
not?
one thing I do think in retrospective regarding Lauryn Hill is that she was on top of the world when she started having children. So we look at a lot of kids that was born into, I guess, to celebrities, and that's in the limelight
Yeah,
and all of these things. There's a lot of pressure even trying to stay on top. I mean, when she disappeared, everybody wanted to call her crazy. Everybody said she had these breakdowns, all of these things that was already in media about Lauryn Hill. So she had a lot to deal
right,
with herself. Nobody took into consideration that she's human.
right,
Whatever she's
right.
going through, we need to learn how to step away and allow people to go through what they're going through. That's their journey. We don't
And
need to guide their
mind your
journey.
mind your business.
Exactly. So I think when we look at what she could have possibly been going through at those times, we got to look at her fame and fortune as well. She went through a lot. She went through a lot. So, you know, it could be anything. Maybe it could have been depression or some form of mental
Yeah,
illness.
I was thinking that it could have been postpartum depression that just last. I
It could be
mean,
anything. Yeah. So I just think that they all, and it seems as though that they all are getting themselves together, because the
yeah,
response that she made in regards to her daughter was beautiful. She stated that her and her daughter talk on a regular basis, and I think her daughter's like 2021, and that they are building a better relationship.
mhm.
And that's the best outcome. And in mental illness and mental health, we have to identify where we're lacking at so we could correct it. Too many people don't want to identify it because they don't want to be put into a category with mental illness. Like it's
Right.
a taboo, especially in the Black families. It's a taboo that nobody really wants to identify. But when we hold ourselves back in identifying it, we truly really hurting ourselves and hurting our family members, because we can't help it. We can't fix our own mental illness. We do have to
Sure
have
can.
some form of help in the process. So, Larisha, here's a question for you, because we started this page in May, right? I think around the beginning or the middle of May, and we had a lot of topics. I mean, we had some good conversations and topics, and we had some ones that wasn't, too much attentive to by the people in the group. What was your and favorite
I
conversation?
will I will say I love all the topics that we've had because the 6 of us, because it's 6 of us. We've all come together in approving and coming up with slogans and information. It was a group effort.
Right.
So I don't really have a favorite. Um, I will say I loved the youth explosion, and I loved how informational they are. Like they're just so daggone smart. It was
Mm-hmm.
amazing. But my favorite thing is the fact that we have a mentoring program. I That's amazing to me.
Yeah,
We only got one mentor, but
it's gonna grow.
but no, you know what? Two, because even though you're not on it, you mentor a lot of people.
I do. I do
You
this on
mentor
the
a lot of
DM.
people. So I will correct that we have two mentors. Um,
Thank you.
it's just cool that we give people that ear, that shoulder, that
Mhm.
conversation, that it's just that I love that. I really love that.
I do like the fact that we created a platform, for our members to it's thought-provoking questions, that people
Yeah.
may have never even thought about
Yeah.
until they literally see it, and then they have to think about it, and it's no judgment. Nobody's like condemning someone for the way that they think. And I think that that is the awesome part. I know that we do these
It
live
is.
tapings every Sunday, but one thing that a lot of people don't know is that we do a discussion board also on our page, on the Facebook page. And those discussions, we post a picture and we have thought-provoking questions. The one that I enjoyed the most, which I was not expecting, was the PDA, the public display of affection, and how
Yeah.
people think differently in regards to it. And I'm not one that kind of like PDA, so it was
I know
kind of
I don't.
people who, responding like there's nothing wrong with it as long as they're not getting it on in front of granny and stuff like that. But
Right.
it, you know,
What
it's
is
great.
crazy? What is weird on that question or that topic is I holding hands, fine. Kissing, fine.
Right,
So when I think of PDA, that's what I think it should be. Holding
right,
hands, a peck, a kiss, a hug.
right.
When you flat out look like you need a bedroom, that's and I don't know if it's just young people to do it because I'm gonna try to say I think I remember, I don't know, straddling the dude on the lap on the bench, in the park, stuff like that. And when I see things like that now with these with people, I'm like, ugh, what the hell?
Do you think you changed
So
because you got
that's
older?
probably it. Might be it might be, or you just when you're younger, you just don't care.
That might be. I analyze a lot, and in that conversation, I had kind of the best of both worlds when I was being raised by my family, and I say raised by my family because everybody, it was the village. I lived some of my life in North Carolina, and I lived some of my
Mhm.
life in New York. So what I realized is that the people from the South kind of was more frowned upon PDA, and the people from up
Mhm.
north was more attentive to it, and was like, I don't see anything wrong with it. Love is love. It's just showing love. We shouldn't be ashamed of showing love, and which kind of helped me see how conservative the South is compared
Right.
to up north, New York, where they are more, I guess, free. Hey guys, it's me, Casey. I'm here at the. What's? Oh, I was about to say that's not me. I'm not there. I'm not there. Look, look, we got
That
no
is
one wants
me
to open the
playing with
group,
my
and
phone in the corner over
look.
here. I apologize, everyone. I do apologize.
But yeah, no. And honestly, I asked the question as well inside of that conversation, which was crazy because I said, "Well, what would you do if you see people your children's age having PDA? Is that uncomfortable, or would you be more comfortable seeing people older having PDA? Like, is there an age bracket? You speaking from somebody saying at a younger age you didn't mind it, and now as you get older, you kind of head back from it.
Right. But I know for me, I don't want to see no it don't matter what age. I mean, if
Right?
you groping and hands in the pocket and the butt and
You don't want
it's
to see it
just
at all.
it's for me and it might be an age thing. I don't know. I think it's a disrespect to the woman. Whether it's
Understood.
the one regardless of who, it's for me to me, it's a disrespect of a woman. I don't want to say to the woman, but of a woman.
Okay. Okay, I can definitely get that. So you don't
Which
see any disrespect.
again is I'm being
I
I'm
was
being
about to
very
go there.
hypocritical. I'm being very hypocritical because I was one of those young people. I was one of those. I know I was straddling a guy's lap in the park. I know it. So it's
So would it?
and I didn't care. I not that I didn't
Right.
care. Maybe
You was
I'm
carefree.
not maybe I liked the guy. I liked the guy that much that I didn't care. I'll say
Right.
that.
Understood. Understood.
You
I
know, but
personally think that there's a time and a place for everything. Is I guess
it
in the
definitely
park,
is.
yeah, but like when you're in a public, let's say a bus, and you all, it's a little uncomfortable for those around you. And I guess that's the part that people are, yay or shying against, is because you don't
Yeah.
know how other, and then that comes to mind is, do you care what people around you,
And
you
you
know?
should, well, honestly, you shouldn't. You shouldn't care. We shouldn't. We should mind our business because it's not our business. Like I ask myself this all the time: why does what other people do make me feel some kind of way or make me feel embarrassed? Like, why do I feel a type of embarrassment for what other people that I don't even know is doing?
Right.
Like
Yeah, and that's
it doesn't make
that's the
any
question.
sense to me.
No. And that's why I said that was a very good conversation piece, because
It was.
those thoughts came out. Those thoughts really did come out, and a lot of people responded to it. Now, I know one more topic that we had that was like off the chain with the response, which was how important was sex in a relationship. And I think the dudes in the in the group just went completely. It was such a good conversation. Like
It
I
was.
literally was
It was.
shocked at
And
how a lot
honestly, I
responded.
think we all pretty much say it was important?
I think they stated that it was important. Most of the people stated that it was very important, but a lot of people who stated that if they was with someone and it was an illness that caused them to not be able to have sex, they would stick by their partners. And I guess then the conversation went into, I guess, would it be cheating if you can't have sex in your relationship, seeking it somewhere else? So that whole conversation went a lot of different directions. The
Yeah.
conversation in that one went a whole lot of different directions, but it was very good to see the members of the page interact in that manner. I was shocked. I was really shocked at some of the answers, because a lot of the people on the page I do know personally, some I don't, but
Right.
the ones that I do know personally that express their truth, I expected something different. Not that I thought less of them, but I seen more of them, which made me admire them even more. I admire everyone because
Okay.
everyone has their own journey, but I was like, wow, he or she was not just an airhead, not to say it that way, but they had some real thought, some real thought behind it. And I was like, look at them, not realizing that we all grew up. But I'm like, oh my God, they are
Oh,
so,
look at you all grown up.
it was just so shocking. I mean,
Yeah.
I can tell you, when we first started this page, it was so much. It was overwhelmed with love and support. I really, really
Yeah.
appreciate all the support and everything. And then I had people like, my DMs was nonstop, Larisha. I don't know if any of the members on the page know that the questions is not coming just from us, six. The reason why the page is set up the way that it is so it could be more controlled. So it looks as though that I am the only one posting, but I'm not posting on my thought or question only. Everyone on the page have a question. If they want a question, they
Yeah.
DM it to us. And when they DM it to us, we talk it over amongst us, and then we put it with a picture. So a lot of the questions that are being asked is not us being nosy. It's just questions that was brought to
No,
our attention.
these are questions that y'all wanted to y'all wanted to talk about. Things that y'all wanted to talk about, which is
Right,
important
right.
because
Because a lot of
the platform wasn't made just for us to talk. It was made for us all to talk.
Right, because I
So
do think that we all can learn something from each other. Each one teaches one is something that I have thought about ever since I started taking counseling classes. And I was like, everything that they're teaching is stuff that we deal with on a regular basis. They just putting, terminology to it and the use of it. So we can all kind of help each other when it comes down to situations, if we bring the situation to a conversation piece. So I think that, the idea was awesome. Now, here's one topic that didn't get that much attention. We have a lot of those as well. And I'm not sure if it's because, the members don't feel comfortable yet or what have you, but our voting topic, a lot of people, I think we have only 2 people to respond to our voting question. And I don't say that, it's, I don't want to say that it's a topic that nobody wants to be a part of, because everybody knows that this is the election that's coming up, is the most important election in our life. I just think that the fear of having to debate with each other regarding the way that we think about politics is kind of pushes people away. And the platform is for us to discuss those topics because of just that. We don't want to push people away, but we want to understand the way that we think. Everybody thinks differently, and everybody's looking at what each politician or what can be brought to them personally,
Right.
And some people are looking at it as a whole, but we definitely have some of those questions on there. Which one did you see that you wished had more feedback on?
Oh God. I don't know. How about, so I did like, the table talk, dear future spouse. How are you doing in that class?
That was a good one. That really was good. I'm guilty. I'm on like day 19. And I'm taking my time with it. I don't want nobody to think that we stop, because I honestly think we should come back to that topic. We're going to come back because when we complete.
I happily dropped out, but go ahead.
Why'd you drop out?
I don't know.
She had some very, very deep questions in there.
It was it is an excellent program. But I don't know if I just didn't have the. I feel silly to say I felt like doing homework after work, and
but like she said, everybody's going to take their time. It's not always going to be 30 days. It could be a whole year in the process. But as long as you have a starter kit to get you on the right path, and I think that's basically what that kind of was.
And the fact that you can always go back, you can always start over. It's really a good thing. I mean, it's definitely necessary, and I know that I need to do it. I don't know if it was making me see that I wasn't ready. On top of it felt like homework after work.
Right.
So it probably was just a combination of things.
And it probably wasn't your time. Again,
right.
It's one of those where
that.
Yeah. Now, Lisi said that she liked the topic about asking for forgiveness. That was a deep one.
That was good.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I literally cried reading those. I still go back and read them because that right there, nobody can actually respond to it, but you got to put all of what you're sorry for, writing it down. And you didn't have to identify who you were sorry to. You didn't have to identify. Some didn't even identify what they'd done. They just wanted to say sorry. And that was therapeutic. I don't know if everybody took heed to it, but it was so therapeutic to actually put down our truth and say sorry. So that I agree with you, Lee. That was a very, very good topic.
No, that was a good one.
I think another topic that I kind of liked was not the biracial, but the interracial couples conversation that we had on the page. we had a lot that felt like, races should be separate. And then we had some members in our group that are married outside of their race that stood up and spoke on their behalf. So that was it was very interesting to see the conversation without the negativity. There's so many different pages in our group, on Facebook, that have that negativity effect. And I
Right.
enjoy.
And I will say that about this platform, there is none of that.
Right.
And we've had multiple different types of topics that could have went left,
Right.
but did not. So I want to commend all of our members
Right.
for being honest, being trusting us with your feelings and your thoughts,
And
and
your
just
truth.
and in your truth, and respecting each other. So
Yeah,
I definitely want to commend our members for that.
Now, speaking on going left, I'm going to tell you which conversation I really thought was going to go left, that I literally was watching on a regular basis, was the conversation about bad mothers and bad fathers. Because a lot of our group members kind of took heed and kind of was protecting the woman, and it was protecting the men. So they didn't see outside of being accused, in which other members of the group was like, no, we're not talking directly to you. We're speaking in general, which they, interacted with each other, even though that there was some was like, dogs, all men are this and all, and the bad mothers out there and this and the other. So it that conversation was really deep to me as well, because they stopped, the members of the group kind of stopped each other from getting into it going left. So I commend on that one. And then I think we had the one that I enjoyed a lot too was the educational one, when it was asking about the history that was not taught in school.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of our members inquiring on some information about Black history. Because I, for one, was one of those who stated that I don't agree with Black history being in a month. I think history should be intertwined when it happens, so that other races can identify with us, why we are important. At this point in time, we get 28 days, which is the least amount of days in a month. We get 29 every 4 years, but they constantly keep teaching about the same Black history, icons such as Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman. So a lot of people don't know of other, historical figures in the Black community that assisted with the things that they anticipate and utilize now. And I think that if we teach history, every part of history, somebody in Black history was a part of history in the making.
That is true. That is true.
And I think that if we actually teach it in that manner, then I think it would help with the race wars. Honestly, that's just my opinion. But that was one of my favorite.
I agree. There was one that didn't. There's another topic that didn't get a lot of conversation or back and forth, and I'm trying to figure out why. So it was, we all have secrets, and I was trying to figure out, did it not get any much back and forth because no one wanted to tell their secrets? If they secrets, they want to keep them secrets.
Is this the nosy you? I want some secrets. Y'all bring them secrets. Alicia wants to see
you know I'm nosy. No, because I felt that way. Like, I wanted to say something, but then I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell that. Forget it. Delete.
Or you want to tell it, but change the name to protect the guilty. Yeah, I mean, again, the topics come to us from a lot of the members, and I don't know what members are. I'm not going to disclose them unless they want to be disclosed.
Right.
And that option is still open for everyone. If you guys have topics that you want to see us discuss on the page, feel free to, to contact any one of us, and I will make a list of the members on the page, if because some members may be attached to you and the other members
Right.
of group. So we'll make sure that everybody who knows somebody that invited you to the group, you can inform them of the conversation. So that's how that goes. So anything else that you want to kind of give off on the group? No? Okay,
No,
God.
I do. I want us to, honestly, I want this to be a topic that we discuss at some point on the table talk. The law of attraction. I know it's on one of our topics, but I wonder if people, how many people really know about it? How many people really know how it works? How many people know that it does work?
Right. Well, that's a good thing, because I just purchased the book, because you know me, I'm a book fanatic, guys.
Yes, she is.
I love knowledge. I sit and read and read and read and read, and everything that we do on this page, I literally do research. And I also like to let it be known that this page is also, we like to promote businesses as well. So for all of those that are businesses. But for that topic, as far as laws of attraction, I was thinking of that, and I purchased the book because I want to be more knowledgeable.
Minds think alike. And it's funny, I was just having a conversation with a homeboy of mine last night, and we were talking, he's always giving me books and information to read and to listen to. About laws of attraction and how to pull in the things that you want and need. And so I was looking at that topic. I'm like, you need to really see how many people are into it, who knows about it, who doesn't know about it, and want to
Right.
and want to learn. So it's real. It's
Right.
real, and I think everybody should know how to utilize this muscle right here.
Right. Somebody also hit me up in regards to being happily single. They would like for us to have a conversation on that, happily single.
Really?
Yes.
I would love to know how, I would love to be a part of that conversation.
Yeah,
because I don't think, and it's sad for me to say, and I know I'm wrong, but I just feel this way. I don't think anybody's happily single.
See, that's why we need it to be a topic of discussion, because there are a lot of people who choose to stay single and be single. And single doesn't mean that you're not dating, you don't have a significant other. It just basically means that I'm happy with the way that the relationship is going. So I think that's going to be a upcoming table talk, guys.
Absolutely. Like,
Happily single.
How, why, and when? Like, what happened? Did anything happen? Did you always know that? Right. Like, did you always know? Like, yeah, I'm gonna love that conversation.
And another one was dating, single parent dating, the process and how hard it is, because there's a lot of people who have small children who are no longer with their partners or husbands, wives, what have you. And, is it difficult? Is it, what's the process? When is the time
it's definitely difficult.
It's a lot. So, people can absolutely be happy single, Larisha. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying that they can't at all, but I don't know.
You just want to understand how.
Yeah.
You single now?
Yes. Am I happy about it? No.
Not, I don't think it's happy about being single. It's happy being you and being single.
No, I'm happy with me. You know, like I love me. I love my, and it's crazy for me to say that I'm not happy single because I love my solitude. And y'all know me, I'd be ready to kick somebody to the curb quick, fast, quick,
Quick,
fast, quick. So
but
you would think I'm happy being single, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
that's why I said it's going to be a very good topic. And those that want to be on that platform, let us know, you know.
Yeah.
So because
And that's
that right
another
there,
thing, people. Um, if y'all ever want to be on a show or part of a conversation, let us know. We don't, honestly, we choose the six of us, we choose the topics or whatever. We throw ideas back and forth. But like I stated before, we get a lot of our information from y'all. And if anybody would like to be on the topic, on a discussion,
and it doesn't
hit
always
us up.
have to be in
Let us
agreement.
know. No,
It
we
don't
don't. We don't have to be. Nope. Just be adults about the conversation.
right.
That's it. And you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to know. You could want to learn. You could want to learn more. You could just want to. You don't have to be an expert on a topic to be a part
You can be
of.
strongly opinionated, and that's perfectly fine. That's
Yeah.
perfectly fine. So, there's a lot of topics out there because when we first started the page, everybody was kind of worried. They loved the page, but they was kind of worried that we was going to kind of run out of topics. And I think that every day that we live, everything that we
Oh,
experience,
yeah.
there is so much. And the main thing is communicating with each other, and especially with this COVID-19. We have to come and be inventive with new ways of communicating and finding love and doing all of these things. It's just so much that we literally have to talk about. We have so much, and I believe me, number 45 gives us way more than enough. We try to avoid those conversations because that is what is going on the outside of our page. But those things are important to us as well. And it's not that we're avoiding them because we don't want to talk about them. We just want to bring you guys something different, to have to
Right.
use your mind, to thought provoking, to keep you engaged with other things outside of those things in your life. So we're always open to new ideas and new topics. So our platform is your platform, and we kind of try to keep everybody together, in understanding and learning. There's a lot going on in this world that we may or may not be talking about, and if you want to talk about it, let us know. We have no problem
Right.
with that as well, you guys. So is there anything else? Like I said, I read a lot of books, so I'm coming up with topics too. So if you guys don't bring them, we're going to get some difficult ones because I'm reading everything from Dr. Seuss all the way to Deepak Chopra. I'm reading everything. Everything. So, Alicia, is there anything else that you want to add on here today?
No, no.
You still thinking about happily single?
No.
I know one thing. I would like some of y'all input on raising adult children. Like,
Oh my God,
that's a
please,
topic in itself.
please.
Do we raise them? Are they raised already? Because
We still I know I'm still raising mines, and one just moved back home. Love you, baby girl. Um, Honestly, they would both come back home if they could. Babies, grandbabies, and all. Well, I don't know if we could all live in the same house, but we are definitely still raising them. I'm not gonna lie. Even the one that's grown and on her own,
yeah,
I'm still raising. I'm still giving because you don't stop. You don't stop caring. You don't stop giving information. They don't stop coming to you for information. They don't stop
right.
coming to you for, Ma, what's your opinion? Because they'll both of mine will be like, Ma, I need your opinion. What should I do? And I'll be like, nope, don't do that because it's not me just saying no because I said so. No, because of this, and this. And aren't you trying to do this? You know what, Ma? You're right. So we will always be raising.
Right. And that's the thing. I myself, like I said, I got 3 children with 3 different mindsets, and I should say young adults. So I'm learning the communication between each one of them is
Yeah,
totally different. So, it's a process, but it's a conversation piece. So again, guys,
it is.
we're
No,
gonna go.
that's really a good another really good topic. How to raise, what's the right way to raise your adult children?
Young adults, and I don't even think it's
Mhm.
raising anymore. I think it's another. There might be another another phrase to use.
Guiding, guiding,
Probably guidance. It's probably guiding,
guiding,
because we do have to
guiding.
step back when we give that advice. So there's a lot in that
Well, I
process.
mean, why can't you use the word raising? Raising is what it is. I mean, it doesn't because they went from childhood to young adult. Their age still rises. They're still being raised.
Are we are we still being raised?
are we? Could we not say we're raising ourselves? Don't we
That's
grow?
why, but that's why I said it's going to be different definitions for it and different aspects. So that's why I said it might be another word out there. We'll find it. And when we have that conversation, we will bring it to y'all.
Yes, because we will. We dig deep.
Research.
We dig
Yeah,
deep.
research.
We define the definition. So
Exactly.
we dig deep.
So on that note, guys, we thank you for just kicking it with me and Larisha, and we look forward to you guys joining us next Sunday. The topic will be posted on Saturday, and we look forward to you guys in putting in more to help with this page.
And maybe we'll do another kick it, maybe
Yeah,
once
we
in a
always
blue
kick
moon
it.
or whatever. So the
And
next
if anybody
time,
want to join us to just kick it, yeah, more than welcome
well,
to join us to kicking it.
even not just to join us to kick it, but maybe you want to ask us some questions. Maybe some questions about, the people on our team. Maybe you
Right,
want to know something about me. Maybe you want to know something about Casey. Maybe you want to know something about any of our other 4 or 5 members.
right. We here.
So yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end this. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you guys next Sunday. Y'all have a
Yeah.
good one. Bye.
Love y'all. Bye.